Our lines are open. I'm going to be answering your immigration questions. The telephone number is scrolling on the bottom. At some point, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with my head's going to be flying by and yelling at you to call. And then give a thumbs up as well. Also to call 1-800-529-5465. I'm going to be answering your questions right now. Also give it a thumbs up. Let's go to Darina in Louisville, Kentucky. Darina.
Hi, Brad. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. Okay, so I'm a naturalized citizen, and I need to apply for my passport. But currently, they need us to send the original naturalization certificate to them to get that process.
Right.
And my husband and I are also waiting for an adjustment of status interview for him. So, and then I need the certificate at the interview. So how can I apply for my passport without risking going to the interview without...
First of all, you can expedite it for an extra like $60 or $80 or whatever it is. They'll return your passport in 2-3 weeks. I doubt you're going to get an interview in the next
I believe currently they don't have the expedite
they don't have it anymore?
COVID-19.
Okay, then I don't know. I would still do it because you have a driver's license, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you have and you're a citizen of what country?
Ukraine.
Ukraine. So you could also bring your Ukrainian passport. You could bring your driver's license. In the computer system, they have that you're a citizen. So nobody doesn't believe you're not a citizen. You just need proper photo ID. I would do it now, and I'm sure you would get your passport and naturalization certificate back before the interview. Okay.
And if I don't, would they waive the proof of citizenship at the interview?
Yeah, because they know you're a citizen. Just bring your driver's license, bring your Ukrainian passport, and explain.
Okay, they can check my citizenship. Okay, that's awesome.
Absolutely. So just
and then my second question. Okay, my second question is: our jobs and financial situation has changed since we applied. Should we fill out a new affidavit of support and take it to the interview?
It wouldn't hurt.
Okay, and if we want to move to another state right now, is that going to cause major delays to the process?
Yeah, because then you would have to do an AR-11, change your address, and then they would transfer your case from, you're in Louisville, Kentucky right now, they would transfer it to wherever you move, and then you would go to the back of the line there.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Good luck.
All right, have a good day.
All right, let's go to Amita in Dallas, Texas. Amita.
Hey, Brad.
How are you?
Good. Brad, I think I asked you the question yesterday on your Instagram. My husband is in a removal proceeding. We applied for I-130, and the I-130 is approved. We filed for the adjustment of status, and he did his biometric. Now he has a court date on September 15. Could you please tell me what document?
Why is he in removal?
Because of asylum.
Oh, okay. So then what you would need to do is this court date in September an individual hearing or a master calendar?
It's an individual hearing.
All right, so then you have the I-130 approved?
It's approved, and he already filed his adjustment of status. He did his biometric.
Who filed the adjustment of status for him?
One of the lawyers.
All right, no. You have to make a motion to the judge to recalendar the case and say, I have an approved I-130 visa petition, and I would like to recalendar the case, take it off not have an individual hearing for the asylum. I want to go back and have a master calendar because we have an approved I-130, and I would like to file an adjustment of status application. And then the judge says, okay, file the adjustment, and then you file the adjustment, and you either do it through the judge or you do it through immigration, however the judge tells you to do it. But you just can't file an adjustment while you're in removal, while you have an individual hearing coming up for asylum in 2 months. That's not the process.
Oh.
All right. So I think you need a consultation. I don't know if your lawyer is doing the right procedure. It doesn't sound it. So hold on one second, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Sam in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Sam.
Hello, Uncle Brad. How are you?
Guy, how you doing?
I just have one question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going for the consular processing to my home back country. So the new regulation, rules and regulations, is it going to affect on my case?
Who's sponsoring you?
My wife, she's a U.S. citizen.
No, the proclamation does not affect marriages to U.S. citizens. How did you come to the United States, Sam?
On the C1D.
Okay, so you're doing a provisional waiver, I hope.
Yeah, I got everything approved.
Okay,
and
yes, yes. So, yeah, what country what country are you going back to?
India.
India. As long as they're giving you a visa appointment, you'll get your green card.
Okay.
Don't
Okay.
go home till you get the visa appointment, because I don't want you to sit home in India for months waiting for it. Okay, but the proclamation does not affect people who are married to U.S. citizens, even from India.
Okay, Uncle Brad.
All right?
Thank you so much,
All right, good
and
luck.
good to see you back.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, I think people forgot. I think people forgot that we take telephone calls on Bradshaw Live. This is how the whole thing, Bradshaw Live, started. You know, we only have 2 people on hold and I have 20 telephone lines, and I take probably 10, 20 calls a show, at least 20 calls a show, somewhere between 10 and 20. So call right now, 1-800-529-5465. We got to get people used to calling again. It's the meat and potatoes of the show. Don't forget. Let's go to Teresa in Mesquite, Texas. Teresa.
Hi, Mr. Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. What's going
I
on?
have a quick question. I am a permanent resident, and I do have a fiancé in Jamaica. We're thinking about getting married next year in May. I did file for my citizenship. Because of the corona, I'm still waiting.
Right.
But is it best for me to fly to Jamaica and get married, or can he travel to the U.S. and get married?
Does he have a visitor's visa?
I'm sorry?
Does he have a visitor's visa?
Yes, he does have a visiting visa.
All right, let me give you a little secret between me and you and whoever is listening. Okay. If you marry him in Jamaica, as of the moment, there's a proclamation. You can't file. I mean, you could file for him, but he's not going to get a visa appointment. The proclamation only applies to people in another country. It does not apply to people here in the United States. So, hypothetically, and I'm putting this in quotes, hypothetically, okay? Hypothetically, if he were to come and just come for a visit on his visitor's visa, and then he waits 90 days, he's visiting. And then after 90 days, hypothetically you say, I don't want you to go home. I'd like you to stay here and marry me. And you marry him after 90 days. Right now, you would be eligible to adjust his status here and get his green card, even if you're a resident. Right now, there's a proclamation. We think Biden's going to win. We think the Democrats are going to win, but it's 4 months away still. So, but I have to tell you hypothetically, because you can't come here for purposes of getting married.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's go to the next.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome. Let's go to Marco in Astoria, New York. Marco.
Hi, Uncle Brad.
How are you?
Good, thank you, Uncle Brad. I have a question. My BAWA is approved. It was approved in May 2020. I do not have the letter of approval because my lawyer hasn't sent it to me. I don't know what's happening to him. I hope he's okay.
What do you mean your lawyer doesn't hand it to you? Is he alive?
I hope so.
You call him on the phone?
I sent him an email. Yeah, I sent him an email and he's not responding, so I'm a bit worried.
Marco, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Marco, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Okay. You have a telephone, right? You just called me. Does your lawyer have a telephone? Call him.
Yeah, but the voicemail is full, and
he doesn't answer.
I don't know what's happening, and I know the BAWA is approved because I am checking it in the USCIS website.
Have you filed an adjustment application, or you have not?
Yes, we did in December 2018, and I was married to a U.S. citizen. So my question is, in case I need to go for an interview, what documents should I bring to you so you could represent me in this case? We could go together, or how could we do it?
Well, I think you first have to have a consultation with me. But if your
okay.
lawyer disappeared, I'm still around. Thank God. I'm here. We would need, if you have copies of your application that you submitted, because they're going to interview you based on the facts of your application. We would start there. If you don't have copies, I'd like you to come in sooner rather than later so we can request immigration copies. Certainly we'll track down your lawyer. Maybe I'll have a better chance of getting him on the phone than you. And we can take over your case and get you prepared. That's not a problem.
That's great, Uncle Brad. And my last question is here. I recently had an EAD approved on the 22nd of June, and I see in the website that it hasn't been shipped yet to my lawyer's office.
Why is it
so it's been
You can change your address.
Because it's a bad one.
Change your address. I think you need to come in. Change your address. You have a lawyer that disappeared. He's not calling you, and everything's going to an office where you have a lawyer who's fallen off the face of the earth. I think you need a new lawyer. Hold on one second, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's go to, and we'll change the address, obviously, and get you that work permit. Jesse in Houston, Texas. Jesse.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Evening. I'm good.
Evening.
I have a question. My father left Jamaica in 1984 before I was born, and he came. He went to Florida to on a farm work program. He somehow ended up in New York, and he has been living in New York all those years, and he didn't get straight.
Okay.
He didn't return home, so he didn't get.
So basically, your father's been out of status for 40 years.
For 35 years.
35 years. I'm not good at math. 35 years. What is your status here, Jesse?
In January, I got my green card, my 10-year. The problem is my father. He has been in the hospital since November.
What for?
Of last year.
What for? What happened?
Brad, he wasn't going to.
He's in a nursing home.
He's in the hospital.
He's been hospitalized since November of last year.
Since
he's been
November.
In for 8 months.
In Mount Sinai since November.
God, what's wrong?
He had a hurt. He went in to do a bypass. Because the blood was not circulating in his legs. And then after he did the bypass surgery, they realized that he had a hernia for a long time, and he got infected. So they had to do a hernia surgery. After they did the hernia surgery, they found out that one of his scrotums were blocked. So they had to do a surgery to remove the scrotum. After they did that surgery, they found out that he suffered a stroke. Then after suffering the stroke, the other day they called me to say he caught COVID-19.
At Mount Sinai Hospital?
At Mount Sinai.
Oh my gosh. So
and then they called me again the other day again to tell me that they had to remove 2 of his toes because whatever they did with regards to the bypass surgery.
Has anybody looked at is this like malpractice? I mean, I don't know what's going on.
Brad, I don't know. The problem is he doesn't have the only person he has is me. And he has no more family. I'm his only child.
Gosh. I don't think anyone's it doesn't sound like anyone's caring for him. But I mean, I could be wrong, and maybe he's getting very good treatment at Mount Sinai. I don't know, but that doesn't sound.
Yeah, but he caught corona and all of that while in there.
All right, so his immigration status is secondary to his health at this point.
Yes.
Nobody is going to deny him treatment at this point because of his immigration status. We got to figure out what's going on there. Hold on one second. I mean, you may need to speak with even Moshe the bulldozer about
They took him to court.
They took who to court?
They took my dad to court.
Why?
Because right now what happened is because he's so sick. There's nobody to care for him.
So they appointed a guardian.
So they took him to court to appoint a guardian
Right.
for him.
But why are you not involved? You're the daughter. You don't want to.
I call them and tell them that even though right now I'm not in a position because I don't have a job right now, so I was telling them that no, I'm not in a position to help him like with a place to stay and stuff like that. But I was trying to let them know that I still want to be a part of the process to know what is going on and stuff like that.
I don't have the answer for you on this live show, obviously, but it sounds like it's a whole mess of a problem. I feel terrible for your father as well. Why don't you hold on one second? Let's see what we can do to help you off the air, okay? Hold on one second.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Henry in Gainesville, Virginia. Henry.
Hello, Brad.
How you doing?
I'm good. I filed for my naturalization in December.
Right.
Yeah, the status is showing on the USCIS website that it's taking them more than the time they had, but there's nothing else for me to do. They don't have anything that I need to give them.
Did you go for your interview?
Not yet.
All right. Yeah, because of COVID, everything's kind of on a little bit of a hiatus. So, got to see what happens over the next few months. Trump is trying to furlough immigration officers. It's a mess between Corona and an anti-immigrant president. So we got to expect some delay. And in terms of, mandamuses, it's hard to go into a federal court and say your rights are being violated when the immigration office isn't even open at this point in time because they haven't opened it because of Corona. When did you file your naturalization? How long ago?
I did the fingerprinting in December 23rd.
Okay, so it's only been 6-7 months since you fingerprinted. Let's see what happens with everything. This is what I'm advising my clients. Let's kind of stay in a holding pattern at least through the end of August. See what happens with these furloughs. See what happens with coronavirus. See if the immigration office opens, and we could reassess what to do. It's only been 6-7 months since you filed for, since you got fingerprinted. So it's not unusual. I mean, if you were waiting a year and a half, 2 years, I'd say, yeah, that's unusual. But 6-7 months is not extraordinarily unusual at this point. So my advice to you and to everybody else in this situation, let's just have a holding pattern for another 4, 6, 8 weeks, and let's assess what happens with coronavirus, what happens with immigration opening there, because even courts aren't even open right now. With immigration opening their offices, what happens with these immigration officers who are going to be furloughed. In the meantime, file your papers. Absolutely file your papers. But in terms of resolving outstanding cases, I think we gotta wait and see how everything plays out for the next few weeks.
So do you think this will be ready before the election?
I don't know. I don't know how coronavirus is going to be affecting America. Every week, it seems, I'm in my studio right now. Maybe Cuomo next week closes us down again and we're back home on quarantine. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. So, a lot of it has to do with Corona. A lot of it has to do with Trump taking advantage of Corona to slow down immigration. Yes, taking advantage of Corona, but, it's the situation we have right now. So just hang in there and let's see what happens, okay?
All right, Brian. Thanks a lot.
Right, okay. Let's go to Deanna in Phoenix, Arizona. Deanna.
Hello, Mr. Brad.
Hi,
how are you? Good, sir. Thank you. Mr. Brad, I have a question. I am a citizen of India, and I do have 2 children who were born here. And can you please let me know what is a public charge?
What's a public charge, you're asking me?
Yes,
a public charge means that you can't support yourself, and you need the government to support you because you are below 125% below the poverty level. That's what public charge is for immigration purposes. If you're asking me, is this specific program a public charge? I don't know what program you're talking about. Or if you're asking me, can I file for somebody, or are they going to say public charge? I don't know who you're filing for or what your situation is. Although I do hear a very hungry baby in the background.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I mean, that's all I had a question.
That's all. Okay. I think you need a consultation if you want. Hold on. All right. I don't know what she wanted me to answer her. Let's go to Vikram in Georgetown, Guyana. Vikram.
Hi, Mr. Brad.
How are you?
So I have a simple question. Am I right? So I have a simple question. My grandmother filed an I-130 petition from her dad. At the current time, she was a U.S. citizen, and it was filed in 2009, and it was approved in 2010. Fast forward to 2020, we recently received a welcome letter, and we're only seeing to make payments for my mom and dad, and my current age is 26. Is it any way possible that we could also get through with my dad, or that's not possible?
No, it's not possible. You aged out. Once you're 21, you age out. They have something called the Child Status Protection Act. Now, the way that you calculate the Child Status Protection Act is you get to add to your 21st birthday the time it took for the I-130 visa petition to get approved. So in your particular case, what you just advised me was that the I-130 was filed in 2009 and approved sometime in 2010. So that
Correct.
means that you fell off the case at around 22 and a half years old. And since you're 26, unfortunately, you're off, which is why they did not send you the fee bills for you.
So the only other option we have is until my dad migrates, he can sponsor us as a legal permanent resident.
Right, but that's going to be years and years and years, unfortunately.
Okay, all right, thanks.
All right, let's go to Mitzi in Waldorf, Maryland. Mitzi.
Hi, good afternoon, Brad. How are you doing?
Good. What's going on?
First time on your program.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. So I have two questions. One, my mother is a permanent resident here, and she filed for two of her unmarried children back home.
Right.
Should she apply for her citizenship, or she should wait until when they get here before she applies for her citizenship?
Are the I-130s approved?
No, it's not approved as yet, because she did it last year.
All right.
She just got a chance to do it last year because everybody was telling her that she needed to be a citizen before
It is
she
faster, believe it or not, to file as a permanent resident than it is to file as a citizen. The priority dates are quicker being a permanent resident than a citizen. It's just a quirky way that it is at the moment. Once the I-130s get approved, she can then become a citizen. And under the immigration laws, at that point, as the priority dates become closer, she can elect to go back and stay in the F2B category if that's faster, or she can elect to upgrade to the F1. She'll have that choice. So once the I-130 is approved. So if the question is, I want to get my kids here as quickly as possible, but I don't want to jeopardize it by filing my citizenship, my answer is wait until the I-130 is approved, then become a citizen, and then you get the choice whether you want to be in the F2B category or the F1 category.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
My other question is...
Okay. 2 for 1 today. Why not?
Yeah, I had two.
Why not?
Yeah, so my other question is, my son applied for adjust my status here because I came here last year, but my son is an American citizen. Now, in December, we filed papers in the end of November, the end of December, I did my biometric, and by March, I got my EAD and stuff. Now, they had sent to me for some documents stating for me to show proof that I was not married to his father. Now, his father is married here to somebody else, and it's not the father that is filing for me. I sent in the information that they asked for from my country, and now I'm still waiting on them.
Did you come up to the United States and claim you were married? Why would they be asking that?
No, I wasn't married when I came here.
Okay.
I don't know why they asked for that information. I have no idea.
Okay.
But anyway, after I sent in the information, they sent a letter to my son saying that the I-130 is approved.
Great.
So now I'm still waiting on them I called the other day because I was...
You have your work permit, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you're just waiting on the interview like everybody else. Everything's kind of delayed because of COVID.
Okay, because they told in the letter they told me that it's in a queue waiting for a date to send out and stuff. Okay.
Eventually, they're going to have to do this by video or something. I don't know how they're going to bring people in for interviews, but eventually they're going to have to figure something out. Misha, how are you?
Hey, Uncle Brad, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm doing okay. This is regards to my husband. He was in deportation proceedings in 2008, and we got married in 2014. We got I-130 approved, and he was, doing like a reporting with ICE.
Right.
Yeah.
Why was he in deportation? Why was he in deportation?
Overstayed, visa overstayed.
Okay, so he got ordered deported. So he was reporting to ICE. He got ordered deported for whatever reason. They couldn't deport him, and then you married him, I guess, at some point after his deportation, right?
Exactly.
And then you
so
filed. You filed the I-130. Was that approved?
Yes, it was approved in 2016.
And you're trying to reopen the case now.
We tried to. The lawyer did not advise us to reopen the case. The lawyer advised us to apply for a 485 adjustment of status along with the 601. So we filed that, and recently,
you feel me? You see me shaking my head?
Yeah. So recently, and he was reporting with ICE, and they detained him.
Yeah.
So when he got detained, and he got deported. So again, I got another lawyer which advised me to do like a 212. So mind you, the 485 and the 601 has been pending with them for more than 2 years now.
The 45 was a waste. All of that was a waste, unfortunately. Like the other lady, there was a lady who called before from Dallas. I forgot her name. Where the lawyer also. The person's ordered deported, and the lawyer's filing adjustment applications. The concept is this. Once you are in removal, other than getting a petition approved to apply for adjustment of status, which is apply for your green card, you got to ask the judge for permission to do it. You can't just go forget that you're in deportation and just go file for an adjustment with immigration. So that's where the problem was with this lady in Dallas, where I said, sounds like it's a screw up. And here it's the same thing. You needed to reopen the case. Unfortunately, your husband got deported. So now, forget that I-45. You gotta transition. You gotta transfer that I-130 approval to the National Visa Center to start visa processing. And you're going to need 2 waivers. One waiver, which is the 212 waiver, which is to return after a prior order of deportation. And you're going to need a second waiver.
That already.
Right, and you're going to need a second waiver because he lived out of status here for more than a year. He has a 10-year bar. So you need 2 waivers to return back to America, not one.
Okay.
The second 601 waiver. The 601 waiver. Go ahead.
We already have the 601 pending, and then
but the 601's pending in the wrong procedure. Okay. All right. In this order, this is what happens. Okay. I-130. I don't know where this I-130 is right now, but it needs to get to the National Visa Center. You need.
Okay. So how do I do that?
You do that on an I-824 application, which is a request to transfer an approved petition to the National Visa Center. So you do an I-824 to the National Visa Center. You file that 212 waiver. You process him through the National Visa Center for a visa appointment in his home country. He walks into the embassy in his home country with his 212 waiver and his affidavits of support and everything else because you processed him in his home country, and they're going to say, fantastic, except you overstayed your time by more than a year. You have a 10-year bar. And then you got to file the 601 waiver. Get the 601 waiver approved. Then he goes back to the U.S. Embassy. It's a whole process. And then goes back to the U.S. Embassy, and then he comes with his green card. But it's a process, and unfortunately, you've been getting very poor advice, it sounds like. And, you haven't really left the starting gate yet for all of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I have to do the 601 again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
After he gets denied.
And the 212 has been pending because we did ours in October and they're on January.
But in the meantime, transfer the I-130. You got to do everything together. Other than that, you're going to get a 212 waiver approved. You still need to get the I-130 to the National Visa Center to process him for a visa appointment. None of that's happening yet.
Okay.
All right. Hold on if you need help. Hold on if you need help. All right. Let's go to James in Brooklyn. James.
Hey, Brad. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I got a quick question. As a U.S. citizen, I petitioned for my mom's via visa petition. She had an interview on March 11th of this year. They said she was approved. They gave her instructions to send in her passport for printing. She sent the passport in, and roughly 3, maybe 5 days after she sent it in, I believe the embassy closed down. So I'm wondering, they never sent back the passport. So I'm wondering if the new proclamation is going to affect her.
Where is this?
She lives in Jamaica, but she went to Barbados for the interview.
Barbados. And this was, you sponsored her as the son?
Yes.
Right. Unless they already put the visa in her passport, yeah, I don't know what happened. I think someone needs to call the embassy in Barbados and see what happened.
I emailed them, and they basically said that I have to wait till the embassy reopens. I mean, it's been a couple months. They haven't even sent back the passport, so
right.
I don't know.
I don't know off the top of my head if the embassy's open in Barbados, but I still think somebody needs to call. There's got to be somebody there who can answer a telephone.
I did call. They told me to send an email, so I sent them an email. And
okay, so then I'll call for you. Okay, so I mean, we're going in circles. I don't know whether an immigrant visa was issued to her or not. If it was, then she can get it. If it wasn't, then the proclamation applies.
All right, no problem.
All right, hold on. All right, let's go to Vera in Staten Island. Vera.
Hi, Mr. Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, what's going on?
Yeah, so I only have one question.
Yes.
So I have green card since 2014, and in 2017, October, I was separating from my husband. And on 2017, I still filed taxes as separating, married but separate file. So on 2018 and 2019, I had no idea that the tax preparer didn't file as married separate for my taxes, but they filed it as single.
What's the problem?
And
tell me what your problem is. You sound very stressed
okay.
out, but I don't know what your problem is. Tell me what your problem is.
Yeah, my problem is if I file for citizenship, will there be a problem?
Amend your taxes. If it was filed incorrectly, you can amend your taxes.
Okay. So I just need to amend the taxes and.
Mm-hmm. If you filed incorrectly, I don't know if you filed incorrectly or not. I had no idea. I didn't fully understand the whole situation with your marriage and whether or not you filed properly or not. But the simple solution is that if you filed incorrectly your taxes and you want to make sure your taxes are corrected for your citizenship, it's very easy to amend tax returns and change the category in which you were filed in.
Okay.
All right. So if you're not sure, have a consultation. But the simple answer to all of this is amend it if necessary. All right. So there's a simple solution to it if you have to. I didn't fully understand the marriage and everything.
Okay. So what should I do?
Hold on. That's what you should do. All right. Let's go to Sam in San Francisco. Sam.
Hello?
Sam.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I do. What's going on?
Hey, hi, Brad. How are we doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good, thanks. So I have two questions, actually. I came on a student's visa here in 2015.
Right.
And then I got a work permit and everything, and then I re-registered because I had a one-year work permit, so I re-registered in the same school, and I was going there until December 2019, but from January I couldn't go for some reason, and then I actually had gotten married to a U.S. citizen in August 2019. I haven't applied for the green card yet, the adjustment of status, but I would like to know that will it have an effect, because I didn't attend school since January 2020.
Did you attend school ever?
I'm sorry, say that again?
When did you come to America?
In 2015, and I have been attending
Oh,
school
okay,
and
fine. For 5 years, and now you're married to an American citizen. You want to adjust your status. That's fine.
that's correct. But and even if I worked sometimes like for Uber and stuff, is that okay?
Yes. Let me tell you why. It's not okay. I mean, you walked out of status, but let me tell you why it won't affect you. It won't affect you because if you're married to an American citizen, the fact that you worked out of status is not a bar to getting a green card. So the only bar to getting a green card would be if you came on a student visa and started working within the first 90 days. That would be misrepresentation on what your purpose of coming to America was. Or if you did work as an Uber driver in 2018, you came in 2015, I don't know, I'm making this up, and then you go and put on your forms, I've never worked a day in my life here in America, I'm an angel, and it turns out when you go on the interview, they determine, wait a second, you were working for Uber, now you've lied. So as long as there's no misrepresentation, that is the only way that can screw you over. So the answer is yes, it's okay if you worked out of status because it will not prevent you from getting a green card. In your particular
actually, I was in status, but on F1 you're not supposed to be working.
So you worked out of status.
Oh,
you didn't have authorization to work.
Okay, yeah. So I filed my taxes in 2019, and that's what I did. I actually did my Uber and Lyft, and then I was going to school as well. But then I got married. So on my taxes, for the dependency form, I think do you have to show the income and agree that you worked and everything?
Yes.
Okay, so that should be fine if I mention it there, right?
As I finished telling you, the fact that you worked out of status is not a reason to get a green card. As a matter of fact, the fact that you were working shows, if anything, it helps your case, believe it or not. Isn't that really bizarre the way the immigration laws work? It's actually quite hypocritical.
Okay, so that should be fine. So I'm sorry, one more thing. So so my wife, she has not been working in the previous years, and she just started working in June 2020. So I suppose I would need a co-sponsor for that.
Yes, exactly.
And but that's okay. But then when I fill the form, it says mention the sponsor's current income, and I mean she has an approximate income because she just started working in June, and she has not. So what would I do in that case? Does that income count?
Well, it's not the income that she's received. You have to give a yearly income. So this is her yearly income right now.
Yeah, I mean, she just started working in June 2020.
I understand that. So if you extrapolate, what would her salary be over the course of a year?
Okay, so that should work, and I don't need a co-sponsor then because it's more than 50.
You need a co-sponsor.
Oh, I do? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right, let's go to Miles in Champaign, Illinois. Miles.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
Yes, I did file for my N400. That was in 2017, July, and I didn't get interviewed till like last year, and after that, I didn't get no answer. It was just stuck up on
Why is it taking so long?
I don't know.
Do you have anything in your history that would prevent you from becoming a citizen?
No, I don't have any history. No criminal history. No.
You're an angel.
No drugs or whatever. Good. So, and I filed some mandamus after I spoke to a lawyer. And
you know what you actually should be filing for, not a mandamus. When it's naturalization and you go for an interview and it's more than 120 days, you should do what's called a de novo review. Because a mandamus keeps the decision on your naturalization with immigration. De novo review pulls your application away from immigration and gives the decision to the federal judge. So if you're going to go into federal court, you might as well do a de novo review. That's my opinion.
Okay, but after filing for the mandamus, that was last week, and yesterday they denied the application within 5 days.
Mm-hmm. Why?
So I don't know. They haven't. They said they would send me the.
Okay, so then you got to figure out why, and then we'll take it from there. I don't know why they denied you. So until I know why they denied you, I can't tell you. Because as I was just saying, All a mandamus can do is force them to give a decision. It doesn't mean you force them to give the correct decision. And if they give an incorrect decision, you could appeal. But a de novo review pulls your case out of immigration and puts it into the federal judge's hands. You could only do that on a naturalization. So that's why I was just saying I definitely would have done the de novo review over the mandamus, but it's water under the bridge. Let's wait for the decision and then make an appointment to come see me and bring that decision with you. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.